Good morning, gang. Happy Sunday morning. So, if you're watching this, you probably figured out why and what's going on. Uh, Already fighting and losing. Let's put it that way. Uh, so, chances are we'll be enjoying each other's company here for the next week or so. No big deal. We just move on. So, I know there's going to be a whole bunch of people that ask, what happened? Where'd you go? I've said it many times, but I'm glad you guys are still here. I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry. So, farming, food, right? That's what you kind of think about it. What if I told you that all of a sudden that was no longer going to be the issue? Now, you guys know 20 some odd years ago or whatever, 30 years ago, maybe at this point, probably, that farmers were paid to put a cell tower out in their field. Okay. And, the cell phone companies needed somewhere in that particular location. The farmer owned the land, so they leased this little small plot of land to put a cell tower in. All right. Ugly as hell, but we all kind of like having cell phones. So that's what happened. And at least the farmers got paid for it. Well, here's the latest, okay? That is what's going on. And it's literally going to put farmers out of business because what you have happening is now these companies are coming in and putting solar farms in the farms instead. And we all know how the government is making it as difficult as possible to grow food, to get food to the market, certainly not supporting farmers other than saying, here's a check to not plant your fields. Okay. The here's a check is straight out of the communist playbook. Okay. I want to read you an email I got. Person who sent it to me wants to remain anonymous, and of course I will respect that. I'm going to leave the name of the city out soon, too. But here you go. I live in a small town in Missouri. This town has about 700 people. We are a farming community. NextEra Solar Company is planning on wrapping our town with solar farms, 600 acres. Our city officials were able to put an ordinance that the solar farm couldn't be within a half a mile from our town. Our farmers that live just outside of town have no say because in our county we don't have planning and zoning. The farmers' livelihoods are taking from them with this Green New Deal. Their property is now worthless, let alone the runoff from the chemicals that's used in the panels. I'm going to skip that sentence. Our town is now landlocked. Solar companies are taking advantage of Missouri and other Midwest states because they don't have to pay taxes. If you could, okay, and then just if you leave me anonymous, yada yada. Okay. This is what's going on. And I know this all too well because you remember me telling you the story about 9 months ago about this egg farm that they want to put here in Sharps Chapel. And the townspeople are completely against it, but the county commissioners told us there's basically nothing we can do. They own the land, and there is no zoning out here. This is a disadvantage of living in the country, okay? That you can build whatever you want if you own the property. Now, obviously there's some guidelines. You've got to follow EPA, whatever it is. I mean, I can't just start drilling oil in my, for oil in my backyard or something like that. There are certain things to do. But with the administration we have right now and their whole belief in the Green New debacle, you're not going to get any sort of governmental help. So what's this going to turn into? Now, we've seen over the past few years what the radical left has done. The Antifas, the BLMs, the, there was some woman out at the Cannes Film Festival the other day, running around topless, painted, "Don't abort us" or something like that. Uh, yeah, okay. Burn, loot, and murder. We get all that. This is going to eventually come around to the other side too, because when people's livelihoods are starting to be taken away, i.e., the farmer losing his farmland, and maybe not necessarily taking it from him, but you get, imagine the construction of a 600-acre solar farm. Okay, lots of truck traffic, lots of uh, chemicals and everything like that that are going to be run up. Plastic like crazy, exhaust. We're talking farmland. We're talking pristine land that there is used to provide our food. And this is what they're going to do to us. Okay. How, again, we go into how much energy, fossil fuel, is needed to create a solar panel or 600 acres of them. All right. Does it pay for itself? Hardly. All right. Why do we need 600 acres of solar panels for a town of 700 people? Sure, I know they're gonna use the power to go wherever. Uh, not knowing where this particular town is, I don't know if it's close to Kansas City, close to St. Louis, close to Jefferson City, whatever it would be. Okay, so maybe some of it's going there. But again, if we're going to start putting farmers out of business, where does the food come from? Even if somehow some genius invented a solar panel that was this big that could power a house, okay, then maybe, and could collect enough sunlight from cloudy days or rainy days or something like that, the only way this would feasibly work. This is the food issue. They're pushing this Green New Deal so hard that they're destroying everything else. You know, I talked about the wind turbines. The wind turbines actually cost more to operate than they generate in the way of power. So it's a money losing deal. The wind turbines have a 30-year lifespan, but to pay for them, they haven't paid for themselves in those 30 years. And we don't, you talk about killing birds and everything like that, or the complete eyesores they are. I've got no problem with using alternative energy. It's a brilliant sense. It's great technology. We aren't there to start destroying the other things we have, i.e., our food production, to meet these caviar wishes and champagne dreams that some of these whack jobs have. Just what I'm saying is be very watchful of what happens with some of this stuff, because when BLM and Antifa and things like that start burning down buildings over drug dealers or abortion or anything like that, what's going to happen when the other side starts getting furious and starts wrecking some of this infrastructure for that's destroying their lives? It's coming, guys. You need to be ready for this. When this stuff is around you, it's an invitation for violence. And if you live in those areas, look at Kenosha, Wisconsin, okay? Sleepy little town. And all of a sudden it got thrust in the headlines for, 6 months. This is the kind of things you've got to be prepared for. They're going to destroy the food supply, which we know is their intent, to force through this green energy crap, which is not efficient. Germany is a perfect example of that, okay? And in the process, your livelihood and my livelihood are going to be destroyed. What are you doing today to protect yourself from this. There's people that are a lot more pissed than we are. And violence rears its ugly head. Talked about many times. You know, when a fight breaks out, where do you want to be? Not there. Okay? Same thing. The family that lives in this area. This is worrisome because you know damn well all the AOC and Bernie supporters are going to be out there, you know, thumping their chest going, look at what good work we're doing. Yeah, right. You tell me. I mean, AOC can't find Missouri on a map. All right. This is starting, not starting, this has gotten very worrisome with the complete insanity that this administration is trying to force upon us and all their ilk. Any of these liberals who want to, they think they can change the world overnight. Okay? It doesn't happen that way. Sure, we're at the infancy of solar. Okay? Think of the internet. I mean, talk about the speed of how things move. Think of the internet back in the mid 90s. And we were all on AOL, and it was do dial up and everything like that. And there was a picture that you wanted to see, and you hit download. You went downstairs, you grabbed yourself a sandwich, you went to the bathroom, let the dog out, came back up to your computer. And now that picture had finally downloaded. Compared to now it's like we're watching videos. You know, we can watch each other instantly on the internet. That's how fast technology improves. Solar's not there yet. Solar today is what the internet was in 1995. Could we ever get to solar energy independence? Yeah. Are we there now? No. We're just wasting money and killing people's livelihoods because of it. You know, again, let's use big screen TVs as an example. Remember when big screen TVs came out? $6,000, $10,000. I mean, you were Bill Gates if you had a big screen TV. Now, $300, anybody walks into Walmart, you can get a big screen TV. Same thing solar is going to work down to, or wind power or whatever it is. Let's get it to be efficient and affordable before making these drastic changes to people's livelihoods. Because once we destroy some of this stuff, there is no going back. And that's what we're in for, guys. Once we destroy the farms, the food supply, the transportation system, i.e. trains, trucks, okay, there is no going back. Just like I said, we can't put 30 million electric semis on the road overnight. But once they get rid of all the diesel semis and we go to electric, and all of a sudden that doesn't work, we can't put 30 million diesel semis back on the road overnight. And so stuff doesn't come about. This is why it is so important to have your personal infrastructure set up, your food, your water, your energy, your house, whatever it would be. I've said this many times. You need to prepare like there is going to become a point in life where you cannot leave your property. Can you survive? That's how you need to prepare. Because, and to put the final icing on the cake here, with this whole monkeypox thing, if we go into another lockdown, which, considering what Biden's going to sign tomorrow, is almost inevitable, and they shut all the businesses down again, that will be the death knell to the world economy. There will be no stores, nothing. There won't be any food. There won't be any interstate travel, nothing. You will need to be able to survive on your own because they will literally destroy the world's economy. Hence the reason I put the video up on Rumble last night that was supposed to be here today. I'm going to link that below again because I am hoping you guys go watch it because that's probably the most important video I've ever put out. Have a good Sunday. Pinball out.